Hello everyone, welcome to Khan's Tech Lab. As you already know, we are working on the Docker series and we have covered 5 sessions so far. Today is the sixth session. We will discuss about how to run a Docker container for MySQL database and how to access it from this MySQL Workbench. Now, as you already know, we have installed MySQL in our local machine and it is running on port 3306 and we can access it from MySQL Workbench. And we have already created a few schemas and tables and also we had tried to access them. Now, what if I want to run this same MySQL database in my Docker network? So, and how I can try to just connect it from the MySQL Workbench, which is running out of the Docker. So, first thing we need is Docker image of MySQL. So let us see if we have the image or not. So we have the MySQL image. Now, let me see if this is running or not. It's already running. So let me stop them. Docker stop. Also, there is one more container. I will also stop this one. Stop the second one. And now let me clean the screen. And also I will just remove the dangling images as well. So now let me show you Docker PS again. Now you can see there is no MySQL running. So from the previous sessions, we had observed how to create, we have learned how to create a MySQL container. And here is that command to run. So basically we have Docker run the command and then we have name, which is MySQL container. And then we have some mandatory options, MySQL root password, which is the password for root user. And we have given it as root. Finally, we are running in the detach mode and also we are running this image MySQL colon latest. Suppose if I'm running this, so now I can use this one. How I can use this one within the Docker. So what is the command for that? Here is the interactive command so that I can use this. So the name of the container is MySQL container. So now I can do any command such as MySQL-u first to connect to the MySQL and -p root. So as you already know, we are inside the Docker and inside the container and inside the container now we are inside the MySQL database. So you can just give any command show databases. So a few databases are there. I can create schema also. Create schema, new schema. And if I just run show databases again, now the new schema is also there. I can create tables and all, etc. Now let me exit from this. Also exit from the container. I'm out of the Docker container. So now, can I connect this to MySQL Workbench? Can I access this MySQL database from the MySQL Workbench? No. So MySQL Workbench requires a few inputs to connect. So let me show you what are those inputs. First thing, connection name that we can give anything, then host name, and then port. So now the network which I ran the MySQL DB is not the local machines, local host network. It is the Docker's internal network. So I can first let me clean the screen. Let me show you what and all networks I have. Docker network ls. So now let me create one more network. Docker network create my network. I have created a network now. Now first let me see all the containers. I will now shut down this container. I will stop this container docker stop this MySQL container. Okay, let me clean the screen and do ps, but it will be in stopped mode. Let me remove this also from here with docker rm command. I'm cleaning again. So now I don't have MySQL container running in the Docker. So now let me use a new command and try to run it. Now let me break this command. Here we have docker run, which is the actual run command. Then name, I am giving MySQL DB as the name. Then network, the network which I have just now created. And then the mandatory root password for the root user I am giving. Then I am giving one more thing, port 3308 and 3306. Now, suppose I want to run this on port 3306. As you can see here, actually 3306 is the default port of MySQL database. Can I run this on 3306 port? The question is, as you already know, in a network, if you are running an application on a port, you cannot run any other application on that same port unless and until you shut down the previously running application. So as you already know, MySQL is running on port 306 in my machine. I will try to run this again. It should fail. As you can see, ports are not available, exposing port 3306. So now let me try to run it on any other port. Let me use 3307. One more conflict. This MySQL database container is already there. Let me change the name to MySQL database 1. Now it got created. Let me clean. Now let me show you Docker PS. Now I have a MySQL container which is running and its name is MySQL DB1. And here is its ID. Here is its image name. And also it got created in 6 seconds ago and it is up and running. Now also the port is 3307. So why we have two ports here, 3307 and 3306? Actually 3307 is the port of this machine's network and 3306 is the port of container's internal network. Internally it is running on 3306 port only inside the container, but to access that container we are calling it from 3307 from outside the container. Now let us see if we can check that. Now I will give some MySQL Docker and also I will change the port to 3307. This remains same and I will add root as the password and let me test the connection. As you know, we are working with the MySQL latest tag and it is not MySQL 8 tag. So it is asking, it is giving a warning saying it is best to use these versions 5.6, 5.7 and 8.0. Let me continue anyway. You can see the connection is successful. Now let me click on OK to access that MySQL DB1. I think we have created just now MySQL Docker. So let me open this, continue anyway. It's just a version issue. As you can see here, I can just access this database. Now I can create schema, first schema. It got created. If I refresh, I can see it here. Parallelly, we will check in the container level also if it is created or not. First, let me run that execute command. So let me copy that command here. The container name was MySQL DB underscore 1. Let me run it. Now I am inside this MySQL DB1 container. So inside the container, we will first try to log in into the MySQL database with MySQL command -u root, which is the root user, and -p password is also root. As you can see, I have logged into MySQL. Now I can just try to fetch the databases and it should give me the schema which we have created there just now. As you can see, first schema we have just now created and we can see from MySQL running in the container as well. Let me create a table. First schema dot table 1 and I'll just give ID and nothing else. It got created and also insert into this table values 1. It got created. Now let me go to my SQL Workbench again and let me reload it and let me see if there is any table inside the first scheme. As you can see, there is a table 1, and if I can just execute it, I can see the records also. This way we can create a container. And first let me exit from here, exit from the container and clean the command prompt and again show you the Docker PS. As you can see, this way we can create a container and we can run it on a network. First we have to create the network, then we have to run the container on that network with this command docker run and then network, the name, then network, then port. These three are the mandatory important things to remember. So this way we can create a container of Docker MySQL database and we can connect it from this MySQL Workbench. Hope you understood. If you have any questions, please drop a comment. And please, if you have learned anything and if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.